Yes then YouTube, my 20-0 unbeaten custom tactics are here right now for you. And these do work on both new gen and old gen YouTube. So make sure you do check that out because they do work on both new gen and old gen. So starting off, I do switch into the defensive, which is my 4-4-2. I do play with Cruyff and R9 up front, Mbappe on the right, Dino on the left, Hullet and N'Golo Kante in the midfield. And then, of course, back four stays the same. But before we get started, guys, if you want to drop a like on today's video for me, drop a comment down below on the video if you do enjoy it. And please, please, please hit that subscribe button to my channel. I don't normally beg, but we are so close to 20k. So if we can hit 20k, I'll do a giveaway to some of my subscribers on here. I'll do like a FIFA point giveaway or something. So yeah, make sure you do that. So 4-4-2 YouTube. I do start off in the defensive, which of course is the 4-4-2. I start off with balanced, 53 width and 55 depth, okay? The width, with the 4-4-2, you know what I like? I love the 4-4-2 at the minute. I really do love it. It's a formation that's now really growing on me the more and more I use it. So the 4-4-2 is definitely back. The 53 width and the 55 depth does work. It just works better for me. So I don't really, like I always say on my custom tactics, when you find something that works, find the happy medium G spot, take it and run a mile with it, okay? So 53 width and 55 depth works for me. Remember, guys, these do work on both new gen and old gen because I play both. The offense, I do play balanced. I did used to play direct passing on the 4-4-2, but what direct passing says is once the team enters the attacking zone with possession, players will create chances by making runs for passes into space behind the opposing back line. Strikers who are fast with good attack positioning attributes are best at this tactic. But what I was finding with the 4-4-2, and you'll see because of my player instructions, you'll probably maybe see or get a better understanding of what I mean. And I was just finding that my players were just bombing forward just a little bit too much. So I switched it back down to balanced and balanced, and balance reads out, this tactic is used for a balanced team that maintains its formation. Players will support and make runs when they think it's the right time to do so. I just found it a lot more, I hate using the word balance because obviously that's what the custom tactic says, but it did just feel to me just a lot more balanced and well-rounded if I'm being honest. So because of that, balanced and balanced is back. Like I always say with the custom tactics, when you find something that works, take an inch and run an absolute mile with it. That works the best for me. Balanced along with 53 width and 55 depth, along with balance on the defensive style. I never really change anything from balance at the top one. That's just always what works for me. So the width, YouTube, I'm playing it on 55. Okay, 55. Again, when I do my custom tactics, I always play around with certain tactics, certain numbers to see if anything works, what changes with the numbers, blah, blah, blah. 55 width on the 4-4-2 is 100% the best width to be on. It means that the left mid and right mid are a little bit wider, but then they're not just hugging the touch line kind of thing. So they are still involved in the build-up play, which is what I want from the 4-4-2. Even though a lot of my build-up play will come from the central, the centre mids and the two strikers, I do want my left and right mid to still be involved at the same time. So 55 on the width works wonders. Players in the box, I did have it on 7. But, you know me, YouTube, if any of you are a returning viewer, you will know I normally always play on 7 players in the box. But 6 for me works best. And because it works best, for some reason, I don't know whether it's these latest patches or something, but I've gone back to 6 and I just find out actually we're creating more opportunities with it. So 6 is back. Corners and free kicks, YouTube. Remember, if you're going to take anything from the video, lower these down from 3 and 3 to 2 and 2. It will help you out so much. Believe me. Now, the player instructions in the 4-4-2. Remember, this is what I start off with. So I do have get in behind and come back on defence of both my strikers. The comeback on defence is actually more of an attacking play rather than a defensive play. I want to close that gap from my 2 strikers and my 2 central midfielders. So that's why I do put them both on comeback on defence. I know it sounds weird, but it just works. Okay, it just works. So my left mid is on comeback on defence, get in behind and get into the box for cross, and that is exactly the same as my right mid. Very important that you have them on get into the box for cross. You see what it says, make runs into the penalty area in crossing situations. It just means you are more likely to score more goals, basically. That's why I always look at it. The more players you got in the box, the more likely you are to score goals, right? Simple as that. My N'Golo Kante or my right centre mid is then on stay back while attacking and cover centre. And then my Ruud Hullet is on completely default settings apart from cover centre. It doesn't matter, YouTube, if you want to go with your left centre mid on stay back and your right centre mid on balance. Just as long as one of them's on stay back and the other one's on balance, you're alright. And then, of course, I do have stay back while attacking on both my fullbacks. And then, of course, comes for crosses and sweeper keeper on the goalkeeper. So, that's my defensive. That's what I start off with in terms of, that's what I go with minute 1. If I then find that I'm not really creating a lot in the 4-4-2, I will then switch up into the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, okay? So I set my team up like so. Cruyff, R9, Dino in at that cam, and then of course it stays the same. Now the tactics I use for the 4-1-2-1-2, the reason I then switch up to this is because with the 4-4-2, don't get me wrong, it's good, but sometimes I just miss having that cam behind them. So, balance on the defensive style again, 50 on the width and 55 depth. You'll find 55 depth a pretty running theme at the minute. It just seems to work best for me, so 55 depth is what I'm running a lot at this moment in time. Balanced and balanced again on the offense. Direct passing, again, something that I have been a big admirer of and a big believer in. Just sometimes it doesn't work for me. Sometimes I just feel like they do these little soft patches to nerf some custom tactics. So sometimes the direct passing doesn't work. This week's is one of them weeks where I didn't feel like direct passing works that much. So we're on balanced and balanced again. The width I do have then on 55 again. The reason for that is I do want my left centre mid and right centre mid just to be a little bit wider. I don't want them to be massively wide, but I do want them to be a little bit wider than they would normally be. So 55 on that. I do then play 7 players in the box because remember this is an attacking custom tactics. I do want more people in the box kind of thing. So I do have it on 7 rather than 6. And again YouTube, 2 and 2 on your corners and free kicks. Now the player instructions on my attacking 4-1-2-1-2 narrow are like so. Getting behind, that's it. On both my strikers, literally just getting behind. That's the only tactics I use. My cam is then on comeback on defence. Very important that you have him on getting to the box or cross. Okay, YouTube, very important. My left centre mid, completely default. And that is the same for my right centre mid. Apart from cover centre, I have cover centre on both my left centre mid and right centre mid. My CDM is then on stay back while attacking and cover centre. And then, of course, YouTube, both my fullbacks are on stay back while attacking. And then my goalkeeper comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. So they're the main 2 that I use. I then do switch up into a 4-2-3-1 if I'm seeing out a game. But this is my ultra defensive. So you can actually use this from minute 1 if you do want to use a 4-2-3-1 custom tactics. And there it is, like so. Balanced on the defensive style again. 47 width, 45 depth. Remember, this is for kind of seeing out a lead. And also if we just, right, we've got enough goals now, we can just shut up shop kind of thing. But, excuse me, like I said, you can use this from minute 1 if you want to. 47 width, 45 depth. Balanced and direct passing. I know I said I didn't like direct passing. But on a 4-2-3-1, I just feel like you create more opportunities in the 4-2-3-1 when you are using direct passing. So that's why I use the direct passing on the 4-2-3-1. Again, 55 on the width. It's just been a good number for me in the last week. You know, ever since I've dropped my 4-4-2 a couple of days ago, I've been trying out different formations and stuff like that. 55 width seems to just work at the moment. So like I always say with Custom Tactics YouTube, when you find something that works, take an inch and run an absolute mile. 4 players in the box, because remember, we are trying to defend the lead at this point, but you can use it at the start if you want to. Just be wary. You might struggle to create some opportunities. If you do want to use it from minute 1, maybe just up the players in the box to like a 6 or 7. That will help. And then, of course, YouTube, you guessed it, 2 corners and 2 free kicks. Player instructions. Remember, this is to see out a lead. So just getting behind on my striker. That's literally it. That's literally it. All 3 cams, and then on comeback on defence and get into the box for cross. Very important that you use get into the box for cross on the cams. It just helps in terms of like the attacking side with a 4-2-3-1. Both my right CDM is then on stay back while attacking and cover centre, and then my left CDM is on balanced and cover centre. Again, YouTube, you can swap it around if you want to. So have your left CDM on balanced, no, stay back, and your right CDM on stay back, balanced. Just whichever one you just want on stay back, put that one on stay back. It doesn't really matter. And then stay back while attacking again on the fullbacks. And then last but not least, comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. So they're the 3 that I mainly use. I'll then switch up into my ultra attacking 4-3-1-2 custom tactics if we are completely YOLOing it at the end of the game. Okay, so if just completely YOLOing it, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes to go, we need a goal, I'll then switch up into this just to send everyone forward. Be warned, YouTube, it is very attacking. So, constant pressure, 50 width, 100 depth. Remember, we are trying to get back into the game at this point. Balanced on the build-up play, direct passing, 50 on the width, max players in the box, max corners, max free kicks. Remember, we're trying to get back into the game. We're throwing the absolute kitchen sink in at this point of time. Both my strikers are on getting behind and stay forward, so that's both of them YouTube. My cam is then on stay forward and get into the box for cross, very important. My middle centre mid is just on cover centre, that is it. My left centre mid is on get forward, get into the box for cross and cover wing. And then my right centre mid is also on get forward, get into the box for cross and cover wing. And then my fullbacks are on join the attack and overlap. And then of course, my goalkeeper comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. And that right there, YouTube, is my complete 20-0 custom tactics for you, unbeaten this week. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to drop a like on it. Drop a comment down below. Hit that subscribe button to my channel. We are well on the way to 20k. So close. Please hit that subscribe button, man, if you haven't already. And hit that bell so you do get a notification every time I do drop a brand new video. And also check out Luke1977.com. Link down in the description below. His clothing line is outstanding. Use code WOLF20 at the checkout for 20% off. Thank you for watching, guys. Remember, spread the love and positivity. PMA, positive mental attitude. Peace out. One love.